Yeah. Welcome back to another edition of the Men Who Cry podcast. Please like, subscribe, and review. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you're unable to do these things, I have to assume you are still looking for Nico Harrison's parking spot in the Dallas Mavericks organization. It's not there anymore. On today's episode, we will be talking about a black man who did something that I don't think that they've seen done ever. Had the whole city of Dallas hate him. The whole city. And we will be talking a little bit about the NBA All-Star game. But first, I have to introduce my esteemed guest, one of the very few Dallas Mavericks fans I think that live in the tri-state area. He was on
There's like
podcast.
10 of us out here.
Exactly. Obed, how are you doing? How are you doing on this fine Thursday afternoon?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you again for bearing with me with the tech issues. But no, I'm doing good. My spirit is definitely feeling a little lighter. 'Cause yeah, Nico traumatized me deeply. And so if I'll count this as a small win if he's no longer associated with the Dallas Mavericks franchise. A win is a win. I'll take it.
A win
I'll
is a
take
win.
it.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. As obviously, if you're listening to this pod, I'm assuming you're a sports fan. If I'm assuming that you understood that Nico Harrison was fired. It was probably long overdue. He did a lot of trades that are just very interesting. Yes, I've seen the graphic multiple times of all the players that were on the team at the same time. And Brunson and Luka and Quentin Grimes wasn't on the team at the same time. But point being, Derrick Jones Jr. and Kristaps Porzingis, all who are which are on different teams now. So it's funny because I'm looking back on it, I'm like, which one of those was the worst? Letting Brunson just leave, trading Luka.
You know the obvious answer to that.
I mean, the obvious one. I'm trying to think like, at least you got Anthony Davis, who's like a good player when he's healthy. Brunson just left.
Stop.
Derrick
What
Jones
do you mean
Jr.
when
just
he's healthy? How often is this man healthy? What the fuck are we talking? I don't know if you cuss on here, so let me not get you in trouble with the
do your
sponsors.
thing. Listen, this is a therapy session, brother.
Come
I'm
on.
here for you.
You and I have both been watching hoops for a long time, and what I love about it's not just hoops, but I think this is fans of every sport. There's always the eye test. So people have been trying to sell us on Anthony Davis since he came into the league. I think it was like 2013 in New Orleans.
Yeah.
The man cannot stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. I would never build a team, certainly not as a corner of my franchise, around a player who's available for half the season. Same thing with Kawhi. Love Kawhi. A great defender, great offensive scorer. If I was running a team, would want no parts of him because you can't count on him being there when you really need him to be.
Exactly, man. So
let me keep the pudgy, Croatian or Serbian kid. I'll take that over.
Exactly.
I'll take the guy with some conditioning issues over the guy who misses half a season every year. I'll take that.
So I was really thinking about this, right? And I was listening to this was years ago because I think Bomani Jones was talking about the idea of owning a team, like a sports team.
Okay.
And he was talking about this idea that like owners, while yes, these are our private businesses, we all know that these are much more than that, right? And he was comparing them to not necessarily just being owners of like a local car dealership or a Fortune 500 company, but almost stewards because like these teams are fundamentally a part of the community, whether it's the Mavericks, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the San Francisco 49ers, right? Like if those teams were to leave or something were to happen to them, it's going to affect a significant amount of people in this community.
10,000%.
I do not know what Mavericks fans are supposed to feel because on one hand, yes, the guy who was awful is now gone and he will never work in basketball ever again.
Ever. I hope that man never gets a job ever again. And I hate to say that to a fellow black man. He's good for it. He's made his millions. Too much, bro. He was a Nike exec. Like he's not hurting for money, so I don't feel that guilty saying it. I hope that man never gets a job in the NBA ever again. Full stop.
Did you hear this? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
The thing I was going to say is, did you hear allegedly the story about why Steph Curry didn't sign with Nike?
No. Is there rumblings that it had to do with him?
So Nico Harris. Now, to be fair, Steph Curry didn't have that many great offers when he got his shoe deal, but
I think this is before his MVP. It's like before he really blew up.
Yeah. This is before he really broke out. but he was
The
trying to
Under Armour
sign
deal.
to a sneaker company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was going around, to the typical guy. So he was at Nike. And when they had the presentation for Steph, they they had his name like kind of like over someone else's name. And it was Kevin Durant's name. They never took out KD's name. Like the way you set it up, you could see it, like I guess in the graphic.
On
And
the
Nico
PowerPoint.
Harrison was the guy in the PowerPoint,
Yeah.
and Nico Harrison was running it. So this
How
man
sloppy
has
is
been
that?
you know what it is, bro? He got relations, dog. He got to be cool
Yeah.
with someone to be someone. Cause
Yeah.
he's been messing up for a long time now.
It
You know how much
sounds
money
like
you
it.
lost from losing Steph Curry? That's
No,
a
of
$500
course.
million, $500
Of
million
course,
right there.
if not more. Yeah. I
Gone.
forget the number on the Under Armour deal he did. But yeah, that's just bad business. That's just bad business. And I think just to you brought up a good point from Bomani Jones that I love that he put it together that way because I think two groups of people often forget this. Non-sports fans and owners seem to be the ones who forget how deeply entrenched and intertwined a sports franchise is in the psyche of that city. Like you said, you really have to be a steward of that. And that's a big responsibility. Mind you, I don't know if I could handle that responsibility. Like that's a big thing, you know? Even same thing when I think about random aside, I'm not going to get too deep with the politics, but even looking at the shutdown we just had, like for those Dems who are catching a lot of shit right now for not holding the line, a part of me is also like, damn, that's a big choice they had on them. 42 million people who aren't getting SNAP. I'm a softie. I might fold on that myself. Like, yo, no, I'm trying to get these people food, you know? So, like, I just say that to say that when you're in positions of power, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And it's very obvious that Nico just completely disregarded that. He didn't have a respect for the Dallas Mavericks franchise and what our star players have meant to us as Dallas Mavericks fans, you know? Most famously, obviously, Dirk Nowitzki. Like, he just didn't get it. You know, he was an out of towner. He's not from Dallas. He had no touch point with the NBA outside of his role as a Nike executive. Had no front office experience. You know, Mark Cuban really took a flyer on him, really banking on his relationships and the fact that he had a lot of solid relationships with the players. It's a players' league, as they will say in the NBA. But yeah, man, he just really he completely misread the room, like in every way possible.
Exactly, man.
In every way possible.
And it's so nuts now because, like I said before, it was like there was a vision of it where I didn't agree, but at least I can see him trying to get this title. But like you said, it all compounded on top of each other. You traded Luka. So now Kyrie Irving, as they said, like I think they said from the point of the trade to when he got hurt, Kyrie was averaging 40 minutes a game.
40
that's
minutes
that's
a
some Tom
game.
Thibodeau shit.
Yes, exactly. You're a Knicks fan. That's peak Tom Thibodeau shit. Yeah.
Exactly. And unfortunately, a 32-year-old, I think then became 33-year-old man, popped his Achilles or ACL rather. Anthony Davis played one quarter or whatever, and then got hurt immediately.
Like a half. Yes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And really, he even botched that because even that was a hurry job. AD came to us injured. I think it was an ab injury that he had. Really and truly, he had no business playing, but it was such a clusterfuck that he was trying to clean it up, and he shoved him out there, and boom, re-aggravated that injury, and ended up sitting a good like 10 to 12 games. You know, so like you said, it's just compounding levels of shit. Is what Nico's been going up against. The basketball gods, for whatever reason, and I think it has a lot more to do with us as a fan base than anything to do with him, you know, decided to gift him with that number one pick with Cooper Flagg. But he can't take any level of credit for that. That's not something he ever could have accounted for. That was the basketball gods just feeling that bad for us, you know? Or if you're a conspiracy theorist, you know, it was the NBA was afoot, you know?
Well, I want to get into the conspiracy theorist part before I get into the Cooper Flaggs. I feel like in an odd way, he is almost going like unnoticed in all of this. But yes, so like the conspiracy theory of the idea of like the Texas does not allow gambling, or there's no casinos allowed in Texas. And so a lot of people believe that the Dumont family, who own casinos, are trying to tank the value of the team so that they can then move the team to the team to Vegas.
Yep. That was the working conspiracy theory around this. Yeah.
I think for me, like, well, one, I am just unfortunately, because of how piss poor people just treat media in general, like the idea of a conspiracy theory was just a theory that had no evidence. And what you would do is you would take that theory, which was just a normal theory, and you would provide evidence to prove it correct or wrong.
Yeah. You fill in from the York
fill
backwards.
in the gaps, right?
Yep.
Like, hey, it's cold outside, but the weather tells me it's 75 degrees. There's something wrong, right? And then you try to figure out what's the difference of it. And unfortunately, this to me just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, okay, you want a casino that bad that you want to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on your team to then move it from the fifth market. Dallas is the fifth highest TV market in the country.
Biggest market in the country,
in the country, to the market, to the 30th market. Yeah, just for gambling, that don't make no damn sense, man.
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you what, because I think all of us as Mavs fans and just Dallas as a city were that deeply traumatized, where in lieu of that made sense because nothing else made sense. You catch me? Like that conspiracy theory was easy to buy into and believe because there's no other way to make sense of that trade. Because there's no other way to legitimize that trade apart from, there's got to be some backroom shit going on here. There has to be. But I think the time that spell, if you will, got broken for me is when that really like full on tell all article came out from, I believe it was Tim McMahon, who's a longtime beat writer for the Mavs along with Mark Stein. And that where they really told all of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. I was like, oh no, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a man whose ego and hubris just got the best of him, so much so that it clouded his ability to make a sound, let alone forget a basketball move, a business move. I don't know if you've been to Dallas. I have a lot of family there, and so I'm there at least once a year. You see Luka plastered everywhere. That was the city's son, especially with the Cowboys being as ass as they've been. Like that was it. You know what I mean? So he just miscalculated on so many levels and just let his ego get the best of him.
Yeah, like
it was a power move.
Yeah, like I am someone who went through Phil Jackson watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander work out and go, you know what? I'm drafting his teammates. So like,
who did y'all get in that year?
Kevin fucking Knox, man.
Oh, Kevin Knox. Is he in the league still?
He's in the G League, man.
Okay.
Listen, I'll say this: the first 2 months, Kevin Knox was killing it.
No, he was. I do remember his rookie season.
He was hooping.
He was
man.
hooping. No, he was hooping. He was hooping. Yeah,
went downhill from that point, man. But like I agree, man. It's like people don't realize that people just make stupid mistakes, man. Like, listen, the only conspiracy theory I think that actually even made sense was the fact that this is Trump's fault. This is the tariff. Y'all had a European. Y'all had to get rid of that. We only go an American, baby. There we go. Cooper Flagg.
Buy America. Buy America. Exactly. Let's get this white boy from Maine. Get him down here.
You know what's so funny? And maybe this is diving too deep into like, because I see how like Republicans / MAGA people just steal like black people shit. Are you surprised they haven't taken Fubu? For us, by us? Like, that's right there.
It is right there. It is right there.
They take that? Come on, man.
It's right there. They could have done something with that. Yeah. They could have done something.
Y'all got one of y'all MAGA rappers just rap over it like LL Cool J did back in the day? You know what I'm saying?
It's dead. Imagine.
Exactly, son. For us, by us,
don't say that
bro.
shit too loud. The federales are always listening. Next thing you know, you hear Trump talking about Fubu.
You gonna start tweeting that out? Yo, give me some Fubu. Yo, back up, man.
The blacks.
Man. The blacks, bro. I heard they're into it, son. got Kid Rock just on the beat, just dropping Fubu lines. Oh man. But either way, but yeah, so like I am curious, like, because I want to talk to you a little bit about Cooper. Like
Yeah.
I only watched the one game, unfortunately, that Wemby looked like a god that he played
Yo,
against
yo,
Dallas.
Wemby's on the alien nickname fits. He's doing some peculiar things on
Yeah,
the
we only got about a
basketball
year.
court, bro.
We got a year or two left before it's over.
Ooh, two is ambitious. I think even if he's starting off the season like this, what's after the All-Star game or getting close to, the playoffs? He's on
My
just on a whole other level right now.
my only belief is that his team is too young, therefore they will lose. But that's it. That's my
That's
only.
it.
After this year,
Yeah.
it's about to be a problem. Okay.
And my Dallas Mavericks owe them a first round pick, I believe, in 2029 or 2030.
Well,
And
so
if things
that's
keep going the way they're going, that
well,
could be a lottery pick.
well, that's the thing. I think it was I think Nick Wright broke it down. It said that you guys have your pick this year, but then next
That's
year I
it.
believe it goes to the Rockets. The year after that, it can go to the Thunder.
Yeah, it's a
How?
bunch of swaps and giving the pick to all of, because I saw that same segment with Nick Wright, to all of the top contenders in the West. The Rockets, the Spurs, and OKC.
Exactly.
And but but I will say this on that end, I think some of that is hindsight being 2020. We wouldn't even be talking about those picks if Luka was still on the team because those would be bottom of the first round picks and would probably in the grand scheme of things not be consequential. It's like we were saying earlier, the compounding levels of shit that Nico did, and it just goes to show you that this was a purely emotional decision because in that one trade, you've undone the very deliberate and team building that you did for like 4 or 5 seasons, just like that. You built this whole team around him, so you can't just trade him and expect for the parts to still fit. It just doesn't work that way, you know? It
Exactly.
doesn't work that way. And you didn't even have you were so in your feelings about him and y'all's relationship had soured to the point that you weren't even willing to be rational about this. You could have got a generational haul for Luca. It would have been the biggest haul of all time.
Mikal Bridges like Hall.
Yeah, imagine. Mikal Bridges went for 5 first round picks. Desmond Bain this summer went for 5 first round picks. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
be for fucking real, you know?
Yeah. But I am curious, like, how do you feel so far about Cooper? Because I feel like I said, he is almost. And to be fair, I think this will now free him and really the team because I think the fans
Yes.
will like had their moment, their pound of flesh, and can
Yes.
now move
Yes.
forward.
Yeah.
So how do you just feel overall about him and like his overall like growth? On the team so far. Granted, it's been like 11 games, so
No, no, I hear you. I'm feeling a lot better and optimistic about it today than I was when Nico was still on board. Because I think Nico was trying to run that same play that the Warriors did a few seasons ago when they drafted Wiseman. You can't both be trying to be in championship contention and rebuilding your roster. It just doesn't work. You have to pick a struggle. Either you're gonna bottom out and play the draft and get young players, or you're gonna go all in and go for the ring. And I think he was trying to thread the needle now, of trying to do both. And so I think now that he's gone, whoever comes in now as the new GM really is in a good spot. Sure, the draft capital is not there, but Coop is absolutely a blue chipper like that, and he's 18. People again, I think he maybe just turned 19, or he's going to before the end of the year. So if he's already playing at this level, what's he look like in 2 years, 3 years? It's the same conversation that we're having kind of like with Wemby. He came in, I believe, at 19 as well, and we could tell even in that first season, sure, he hasn't put it all together, but when he does, he's gonna be a fucking problem. And here we are now. So I think the same is true for Coop. He's a three-level scorer, an incredible defender. And I've just always really loved his energy. I'm not big on college ball, so I didn't watch him a whole lot at Duke. But even when I was catching him on highlights, he's jumping out the gym. He's yelling at motherfuckers. Like he's in it. He's really locked in. So I think if they really play the cards right and maybe parlay whether that's Kyrie, whether that's AD into a few other pieces, um, you know, crazy things have happened, man. You can turn things around pretty quickly. Even look at OKC. People are forgetting a few seasons ago they were still not quite there, but once the right pieces came in place, Isaiah came on and they had some better luck with injuries. Look at them now. So I also think that it's the horizon's not even as long as I think as some people are thinking. I think we're being prisoners of the moment a little bit, because yeah, just in a short amount of time with the right person at the steering wheel, can definitely turn things around pretty quickly.
Yeah, and like you said, like you can almost do it kind of quickly. I think someone was talking about like there's a thing called like the Portland pivot. If you remember, like
Mm,
right before the Blazers traded away Dame, those two
mm,
years they were like really bad. That was when they got
mm,
Scoot, and then in this draft they weren't as bad, right? But they
mm,
tanked, and now obviously they lost their coach for reasons. But
reasons.
for
For
reasons. Again,
reasons. Yeah.
black man just get into trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel good for me.
Yo,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know,
I
I
don't like
know.
doing this. I don't like being
Yeah,
on
but
this
even
side.
even the details of that shit was crazy, man.
Yo, they got the whole glasses set up.
They are on some James Bond shit, bro. That tech, I was like, yo, what kind of tech? Who was building this shit for y'all? Like, where were y'all even buying this shit?
Yo, this shit was some real Ocean's 11 type shit, bro.
Nah,
They
literally.
got the whole shit
X-ray
popping,
poker
bro.
tables, special contact lenses. I'm like, yo, y'all on some CIA shit.
Yeah, son, shit is nuts. And it's like, but it's like you saw how like the team is like probably decent. Now, will they make the playoffs? They'll be in the play-in. It'll be tough, but you can at least see the turn for them. And obviously,
Yeah.
like you just said, right? Like Dallas right now, because of the pick situation, they're gonna have to trade. I definitely think they have to trade Anthony Davis. At this point, it's just he has to get off the
Yes,
team because
please.
that might be the last remnant of the deal. You can't undo it.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Kyrie,
I,
I think,
I I like Christie. Keep Christie,
yeah,
but get AD's got to go
Kyrie to me is an interesting play because I think you should just let him not play this year. Just like, hey,
for
listen,
sure.
come
Yeah.
back in 18 months, or I guess it might be even
Yes.
2 years at that point. Um, when you're fully healthy, he's still a
Mm-hmm.
good player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we'll just have you. We'll have our pick this year. It'll be in the lottery, so it'll be
Yep.
maybe a top 5
And
pick in a
this
good
and this is a
draft.
good draft this year. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And then Kyrie, and then either you can talk to Kyrie about it, like, hey, do you want to stay here? This is kind of the vision we have, or we can move you, right? Because some team will trade for him if he
Yes.
wants to leave,
There
and
will be
or he's
buyers
like,
for
nah,
Kyrie.
I'm
There will
chilling.
be
I want to
buyers for
stay.
Kyrie. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
I
either
and
way,
I
yeah,
agree with you. I'm flipping AD. And to be honest, I'm willing to get, I won't say cents on the dollar, maybe quarters on the dollar, but I'm not too worried about getting a generational haul for him. I just want off of him. I don't want to be in the AD business. Whatever it takes, that's a half decent trade to wash my hands of him. I'm doing that. Hopefully it's for some young players and some draft capital. But if I was running the team, I would want to keep Kyrie, just have him in that elder statesman kind of veteran role that he was already stepping into and really excelling at, for us before he got injured. And so I think we still need a good voice in the locker room. So I would do that. Honestly, even Clay, I might be thinking about getting off with Clay because, he poor Clay, and I love Clay. I've always been a
it's
big
not
Clay
even his
Thompson
fault.
guy. He just got, so I would also be really trying to see what, he's had a really rough start to the season, but I would also see what interest there is in him as well. And then hold on to the rest of the team because the rest of the team is also fairly young and solid pieces. I'm a PJ, Lively, Najee. It's a good core that we can build around. But yeah, just got to let go of some of these pieces that don't make sense anymore.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
happy that we've gotten to the point where the honorable Kyrie Irving is now the elder statesman of the
Imagine.
room.
We've also come away on that. Yeah, yeah.
the the Kyrie turnaround, man.
But you
This
know what it is? Just real quick on Kyrie, I think this is something we often forget in sports, and it's not just true. It's not just true with basketball, but I think we often forget that, like, yo, these niggas are young as hell. Like we're talking about Kyrie. I mean, I don't know how old you are. I'm 37. That man's younger than me. But we talk about these players as if they're like ancient.
Yeah.
We're forgetting that, like,
Me
a
and
lot of
Kyrie are the
times.
same age. I think about that
Yes,
all the
this is a
time.
young man. You are young men. You're not old at all. It's just sports has this way of warping your sense of age, you know? So I say that to say that I think we often forget, like, oh yeah, when I was 25, 26, I'm sure I wasn't the most mature motherfucker out there. I might be saying some wild shit. I might be not, conducting myself or composing myself the same way fast forward that I am now at 37, you know? I think a lot of times we don't show these guys enough grace of, like, they're trying to figure out and grow up into being a man with all of this spotlight on them, with millions of dollars, which also can be, corruptive in its own ways. So I think people were giving up on him a little too soon. So I've really loved that Dallas has given him an opportunity to kind of, like, shift people's perspectives on him.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it'll be interesting to see just what the moves are, but I agree. I think they're going to try and pivot over to more of a youth movement, even if Kyrie is still on the team.
Yeah. Well, what do
But
you think
speaking of,
about Coop? You asked me. What do you think about
yeah,
him?
I think the biggest thing is
Like, what's your
he's
comp for him?
he's big as hell. So like you,
Yeah.
I'm not big into college basketball, but I will watch. Like I'll love
Mm-hmm.
March Madness. I'll
Yep.
watch.
Yep.
Obviously, he went to Duke, so I knew of him for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do not know if he will be the best player on a championship team. However,
Ooh, I think
I
so.
absolutely think that he, at worst, will be
Yeah.
the third best player on a championship team. Like, to me, I just see like an in between. I think his high end is Kawhi. I think that's what people
Okay.
comp them to.
Okay.
I think his high end is that.
Like a
I
taller
think his
Kawhi.
low end, yeah, a taller version of Kawhi. I think his low
Yeah.
end is a rich man's Chris Middleton. And people might look at that as like disrespectful.
Ooh.
Chris Middleton was nice, He's just
Yeah.
old now. But it's like that in between. And listen, people forget Giannis don't win that championship if Chris Middleton wasn't doing what he had to do.
Mhm.
So I think that he's a kind of a guy where I don't necessarily know if I see best player in the league. And it's not even because of him.
Okay.
There are freaks in this league. You see
They
Wemby.
are.
You see this dude, Jokic. Jokic just shot 55 points, and Ty Lue just laughed. He's like, our
No,
plan
his
was for him to
efficiency,
score.
that was last night. Yeah, his efficiency was insane. I think he was like 5 for 6 from three. I think it was like 16 of 18. Yeah, he's also on some different type of time. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Jokic is also on some different type of time.
Like, it's just hard. And like the reason why it's funny, and I'm good that we're gonna transition now to the All-Star game, is like I just don't I just don't know if we as Americans are making the best models anymore. Like
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
he's
think
he's the great white hope.
listen, like
Coop
I told
right
you,
now.
Fubu. Like I told you, bro, you gotta start marketing that. I don't know where he leaning. He from Maine. They got people up there from all over the place, but Fubu,
I think you're
dog.
selling low on him, man. I think you're selling low on him because a person who comes to mind for me, and just stick with me, is like you can't tell me that he couldn't turn into, at worst, a poor man's Giannis. Like, he's coming in, he's about the same height as Giannis was, coming in as a much more better skilled player than Giannis was at the same age. And so if he's already has some of those skill sets that he has now, don't forget last year in the Olympics, he was running and keeping up and impressing them niggas on the Olympic squad. You know what I mean? He's also built different, is all I'm trying to say. Like, I also think there's a world where, yeah, I could easily see him as the number one guy on a championship
team.
contending team. Yeah, for sure. It's the
Well,
defense. It's the both sides
yeah.
of the ball that kind of just takes him to another level.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, you ever hear about like this quarterback will never win a Super Bowl until they win the Super Bowl? To me, it's one of those things.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like Josh Allen is not good enough to win a Super Bowl, then he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Lamar
okay.
Jackson, he can't win the
Okay.
Super Bowl until he wins
Yeah.
Super. Like
Until he
once
wins,
you
yeah,
do
yeah.
it, it oddly is like, of course he like
Yeah,
everyone's like, of course
exactly,
he did,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, of
Like
course he did. Yeah. He was
exactly.
always a
So
franchise guy. I get
exactly.
that.
So
I
I
get that.
sometimes think that like these guys, it's like you. I remember them saying that about Dirk. I remember them saying that about Giannis.
Oh,
I
trust me,
vividly remember
I
that Dirk.
know them saying that about Dirk. I know. I was there in '07 when we lost in that got swept by the Warriors, and that was the same year that Dirk had won MVP. So yeah, I remember all the chatter of like, oh yeah, this guy's soft, and he's never really gonna put it all together. So I hear you on that. I hear you on that. A lot winning cures a lot. Winning solves a lot in
Yeah.
sports, just in general. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Speaking of winning, or kind of even shifting over, like I find this All Star game a new format, the like
Yeah.
15th new format that
I
we
know,
have.
right? We're doing something new for the past like 10 years.
We've done changed this thing so much, but I will say this, and maybe it is because the NBA is the heroin in my arm. I actually think this idea is good. I actually thought last year's idea was fine. It was just they kept stopping the fucking game to honor inside the NBA, who shockingly is still
Oh,
on
yeah.
TV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who knew? But basically, we will now have a new format. So, for those of you who don't know, I'll read the rules really quickly. So, there will be 3 teams in this now, 3 teams of 8. There will be
Yep.
2 of just all U.S. born teams, U.S. born players rather, and then a team of the world.
Yep.
They'll play 4 games with each other. It'll be 12 minutes, round robin. So it's very simple. Whoever beats, 2, whoever gets 2 wins, essentially, will move on to the championship round, and then it will go ahead from that point. The reason why I find this very fascinating is, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because my whole thing is basically is like Adam Silver had to shame these players into playing hard because they couldn't be damned to care. But
Yeah,
now what's going to
yeah.
happen is they basically made the All Avengers team of Wemby, Luka, Shea, Jokic.
Think about that as
SGA.
a starting 5,
That's
bro.
going to be their starting 5.
That's their starting 5. That's insane.
They're going to destroy
Yes.
whoever's on the other side.
Yes, they are.
And to me, this was Adam Silver's plan. It's like, okay, y'all want to keep playing games? Here we go.
Here we go.
Now, when y'all get embarrassed out here,
Yes, your pride is on the line now.
your
Now
pride's
what?
now on the line because
Yeah.
LeBron's could barely play in it now. He's not. Who we riding on? Ant, Donovan Mitchell, Brunson, Mobley.
Tatum, if he's even
Tatum not
back by
playing?
then, yeah, if he's even back by then, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
So yes,
Um,
how are you feeling about this new format now, the 15th format that we
I
have?
know. I love it. Similar to you, I think it's long overdue. I think fans and talking heads have been asking for this for like probably almost 10 years now, especially as the league has really opened up and we're seeing these international guys really. I think this season or maybe the past couple, all but maybe one out of the top 5 MVP finalists each year have been foreign-born players. And so this is very much the vision for the league that Stern had, rest in peace, was really opening up the league and making it more of, this international game. And I don't know if you tap in during the Olympics. I'm sure you do. We've also been seeing that again, just going back to the eye test of like, oh shit, like niggas ain't fucking around. Like it's not a shoe in each Olympics that we're gonna win. We've had
Bro,
to
we
like go out
we
there and actually earn it. You know what I
we
mean?
brought in the Avengers and almost lost to Serbia
Yes,
and almost lost to
yes.
France.
Yes, and those were good ass fucking games. Those were good games. So I think, that's a perfect example, I think, to show the stakes always are a little bit higher when you're doing it for, for flag or country. So I think that I'm at least I'm hoping, because if this doesn't solve it, I just don't do it. I think at that point, but I think this, I really hope incentivizes the players to actually give a fuck and like, because like you said, otherwise, y'all just gonna go out there and get embarrassed, and that's all people are gonna be talking about is like, oh, I can already see the news cycles, the sports cycles for like a week or two after the All-Star game. I think my only thing that felt a little off is the games seem hella short. They're 12-minute games. Like that, what is that? That like how are you even getting your flow or like getting into a groove? That's a quarter, you know?
Essentially, yeah.
So I think for me, what I would have done, and I think this would have really even added to it, make these shits full on games. Nick some shit from Saturday night. We don't need some of those fucking things at this point. Keep even then the dunk contest has been like dead since
They got to stop doing that.
The Gordon Levine one was the
That was
last
fire.
like,
That was the
decent
last
one.
one. Bro, that's almost about 10 years ago now.
No, I know, and that was an all-time great one. But like you said, that was almost 10 years ago. So nix or cut down some of the programming on Saturday night and make this a 2-day thing and really ratchet up. Like, we're gonna play a full ass game. Like we're gonna, you know what I mean? Or if you want to have like a blowout thing where if someone's up by 20, 30, whatever, but just make it more of a meat on the bone kind of thing. Because to me, with the games being that short, it still has this kind of like friendly or exhibition vibe to it that I think we might still not see the players really get into it as much as we're hoping they do.
Yeah, I think that because we already kind of know the starting five, and like, I mean, just to come off the bench, like, obviously, as like a Knicks fan, I'm trying to get as many guys as I can get in, and like, I went through the order because like I really have loved the way OG Anunoby's been playing, and he's going to be on the international side. He's I don't think he's getting in. Like, and again, because there's 3 spots, right? We know the starting five. There's 3 spots.
Yeah.
Denny Avdia has been killing it. Sabonis is always going to be around for it.
For sure.
I just talked about OG. RJ Barrett's been doing well. Like, you start like Jamal Murray. Like,
yeah, Canada as well. Yeah.
You start like looking at it, those 3 spots, and that's the thing about it is like there is no watering down with this. These are going to be the 8 best international players we have in the sport. In a league where, like you just said, we haven't had an American win MVP since 2018 with James Harden. And it doesn't look like we're going to get one anytime soon.
No. Easily, I could see, like, even... Because think about the Wemby Luka alone. Forget if let's say we even say that Jokic never wins another one, or Giannis. And I think between the two of them, there's at least another 1 or 2 there. Let's talk about Luka and Wemby. We could be talking the next 10 years of not seeing an American-born player winning MVP easily. And
I think that I don't know if Adam Silver's like brain was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Outside of just being like, you know what gets people to do stuff? Shame.
Yes, shame is a great motivator.
Have to shame y'all because
and I didn't want to do this, mind you. I didn't want to do this. But y'all brought this on. Yes.
Exactly. This is why when people are like, why is Adam Silver doing all this? You had Draymond Green crapping on the game during the All-Star game.
Yeah.
It was nuts, man. And like,
let me ask you this real quick. Where? Because I was chewing on this, or I've been thinking about it for a while. When did that shift happen? Because it's like we went from having a really competitive, exciting game, and then just not. And it feels like there wasn't even a transition. It feels like it was just like all of a sudden, you know?
I think honestly, and I have talked to some people who are like in like the lower levels of like like in the AAUs and the high schools. I really think it starts with us from the processing. I don't think we make. I think that we have athletic and very skilled basketball players in the NBA that are from America, right? That are from this country.
Oh no, but I meant the All-Star game.
I thought we were getting to like a fundamental.
No, that's another conversation too. That one I know. Exactly. That one is everything you're saying. That I know. That I'm more clear on like why Americans are falling off. But like the All-Star game is like, wait, y'all gave a fuck, and then all of a sudden you stopped giving a fuck. Like,
and you know what's so weird too? Do you remember the one where Kobe didn't die during the All-Star game? But you remember the one in 2020 where Kobe had just passed? The Elon, that was a great game. Unfortunately, like I remember that game too because Kemba got hurt. But
Who
like
who won MVP that one? That's often how
that
I
was
remember these
was
All-Star
that
games. Was that the
LeBron?
one Westbrook won? There's one Westbrook
No, the
won
one
randomly.
Westbrook one was the one in Toronto. That was Kobe's last All-Star game.
Oh, that's why I tied the two together. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Did look you know what? I want to kind of look this up. I think it was I feel like it was LeBron because I feel like LeBron made like the last play of the game
I see,
and
I
like
see.
but let me look up
Because as
who
you're
won.
looking that up, that's another thing that is a part of the conversation with this new format is how often the league still doesn't seem to have a plan, especially when we're talking about American-born players. What's your plan for post LeBron, Steph, and KD? Y'all still keep trumping them. Am I gonna or like 20 years from now, are y'all gonna be pushing them out there in stretchers like still to like
Are you-
when is it gonna end? Like when
What
like
is
they
it?
still haven't made a plan of like who are you promoting and pushing once these guys are out. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the thing. So to answer your question, it was actually Kawhi won it
It
that
was
year.
Kawhi. Okay,
It's
okay.
crazy enough to think Kawhi won it. Um, but I think, and this goes back to, I think, honestly, the culture of America, where we're
Mm.
kind of in a very super ultra nationalistic place right now in the
Mm-hmm.
country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you also noticed this too, is that baseball has been surging up, right? I think they had the
Yo,
thing
did
where
you
like,
watch the World Series, bro?
oh, I mean, those were fire.
It
But
was incredible. And I don't even watch baseball like that. I was like, yo, have I been missing out?
and that listen, you don't gotta talk to me. I love baseball, especially the baseball
Man,
postseason. I'm
that
always in on baseball,
I was
but
locked in the World Series. Yeah.
I'm just curious because like you're seeing this shift in the NBA where it is becoming more like soccer. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying that in
Mm.
the sense of like we just talked about, the face of the league is going to be a foreign player, and I
Yes.
am very interested in how a sport played in America in the
Mm.
times that we are in, when we are super ultra national, how does the
Mm-hmm.
customer base receive that? Now,
Mm. Okay. I didn't even think
Wemby
about
speaks
that, but
English, like
yeah.
we can understand him, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Versus
Mm-hmm.
like baseball, Shohei Ohtani, I wouldn't necessarily say the face of the league is, but you have a Bryce Harper, you have an Aaron Judge, you have a Juan
Mm-hmm.
Soto, you have a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you have players who like either are American or can speak English and you can understand it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so I feel as if that the league is in a very funny spot, which is why I do think someone like Cooper Flagg is super important,
Mm-hmm.
because I do think you need for this sport to have, maybe not to be the face of it, but he's got to be in the conversation of it. And
Mm.
I just don't know how
Mm-hmm.
the league will trend if
Mm-hmm.
the best player, I mean, we can be at a point where the top 10 players are all international players. I don't know how a league that's been dominated by American players, you know, all the top, I mean, you could argue the best international player ever is, I mean, it's either Hakeem,
Yeah, it depends who you
maybe
ask.
it's Dirk,
Olajuwon. Yeah. Yeah.
Olajuwon, you know what I'm
Dirk.
saying?
Yep.
Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
still kind of up in the, but like, it might be Wemby at one point.
Oh,
Tim
probably
Duncan.
when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be Wemby or Luca when it's all said and done.
So
Yeah.
how does a league handle that? Is really that is one of my true questions of this sport going forward to the next 10 years, because I see the shift in culture in America, and the NBA already struggles with finding a for us by us audience. And I
Well,
am
see,
just
I
very
I think you're being a little
curious of how that
short-sighted.
moves.
Yeah, no, I think that's a valid thing you're bringing up. But don't forget, out of the four major leagues we have here in the U.S., NFL, MLB, NBA, and who am I missing?
Hockey.
And hockey, yeah, and hockey, NBA by four out of those four is the most international appeal, or has the biggest market or audience outside of the U.S. So I think that actually positions them really well for this era of international stars and players taking off, because I think that's only going to really help increase the audience outside of the US. Doesn't do us any favors here at home, so I think that's what you're saying. But I think in terms of just like marketability and just the growing the size of the brand, I think it's great for the brand, because this is really what Stern was pushing for a while, and we're here now, of the game really opening up in that way, and that's something that's not really as available or as accessible for the other three leagues we have here. The NFL is doing
Yeah.
their little Europe games, and they have a few games in Brazil and all that, and MLB will through and through baseball in general will kind of always be a localized sport. It's like us, some countries in the Caribbean and Japan. I think that's about it, right?
Hmm.
That really play baseball or even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So I actually think that this actually bodes well for the league, thinking about it more broadly of the marketability for the league is having all of these. So maybe now we're not having one face of the league, but we're able to have three or four. We've got Wemby, we've got Luca, we've got Jokic, whoever that steps into that role, and now we can market the league in all of these people's home countries. God forbid there's ever a Chinese star. I mean, Yao Ming was we saw how big that was. God
You ain't
forbid we
checking
get
out the
another.
big tariff down in Portland?
Oh, I've seen them. I've
The
seen some
big tariff,
highlights.
baby.
I've seen some highlights. So yeah, God forbid we ever get like a big like top five Chinese player again. Yeah, I mean, think about how that will really open, kind of like blow things up some more. But like you were saying though, I think the point still stands. It's not looking good for homegrown USA basketball, and much in the same way that I think we've seen this push in the USA soccer, how because I know that's been a big disconnect for a while too. Like, how come our women's team is out here killing it, every 4 years and really out competing, but we're not getting that same thing with our men's team, out of a country that has over 300 million people. And a lot of the conversation there with men's soccer, a lot of that was talking about some of the same things that you brought up earlier, like what's our farm system? What's the AAU looking like? Like, how are we? So there's some changes that I think need to really start being implemented in those leagues if we're going to see that bubble up.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
No, man,
and we need
I
more
agree.
niggas from the hood. That's another thing
Well,
too.
I mean, listen.
We
I'll
don't
say
got that
this,
no more.
but
Think
I'll say
about that.
this
We
to
don't.
go
It's
back
all
to.
sons of NBA players now at this point.
Okay, so here's the thing,
Yeah,
right? If you're looking at it like we only really got two YNs left. That's why I need Ja to keep balling.
that's
We
it.
only got
We
like two
got
left.
Ja. We got
Ja and
Ant.
Ant.
I
That's
would
it.
put. I would probably put Bridges in there too. Bridges.
YNs? I thought. Well,
Mikhail. No,
he
not
might be on
Mikhail.
the
The
lower
the
YN.
the
I'm
guy
trying
in
to think.
Charlotte. The guy in Charlotte. Not
Oh,
not.
you're right. My fault.
Yes. Miles.
Miles.
My bad. Yes,
Absolutely,
him.
my bad.
Not
He in the top
Mikhail.
five.
Miles. Absolutely.
Todd Philly in the
And
top five
and
of YNs.
Lamelo's not. He grew up rich. He grew up in the suburbs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he tries to put it on. You
He
know what I
thinks he
mean?
thinks he thinks that culture is a costume, so he's just wearing it.
Correct.
But he's
Correct.
not a part of that
He's
life.
not a true YN. Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah,
a
yeah.
true. You're not from the
Yeah.
trenches.
Because think
No,
about that. Before the international guys, the YNs ran the league.
well, so here's the thing, right? I personally think that, and
Or
it's
folks who
so
grew
funny you
up
brought that
that
up.
way. Yeah.
I was talking about this with someone too. It's like with all the academies now, with all the
Mm-hmm.
AAUs, how much money
Mm-hmm.
it takes, we have
Yeah.
almost cut off the section of like the poor. And like, I mean, we
Yes.
could be honest, like how a lot of dudes got out of those situations was through sports.
Yes.
But we have now almost like made it that even entering the entry level to get into sports, because before,
Yes.
just to make the league, all you need to do was have a basketball, play in your local high school,
That's it.
make a little
Yeah.
mixtape, and if you were good enough, someone would find you and you would go up. Now,
Absolutely. Yeah.
if you don't have the money for the camps, for the training, you're not making it in. So
That's
we've
why I use
almost
men's soccer as an analog because that they've been having the same issue. Yeah. And think about those two sports. Soccer, all you need is a fucking net and a ball. A basketball and a hoop. Like this, that's it. This is not
hoops
like some of those.
everywhere,
That's
everywhere.
everywhere. So there's no reason why in those two sports that have such a low barrier to entry in terms of equipment that we have to be, it turns into this thing that's costing young kids or families thousands of dollars. That no, no, no. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's why, me personally, I think that is why we are seeing a
Mm.
significant drop in those types of players. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah.
if you have you been checking out the Sebastian Telfair kind of thing.
I did see that he started like a YouTube channel, right? I think I saw the
Yeah.
first one or two episodes, which is wild. I didn't know shit had got that bad for him.
Yo, bro, I felt so. I was. This is not even me making fun of him. I felt so
Yeah,
bad. Like,
yeah.
I was like, man, like, I just
Ali,
remember when like he was such a big deal. Like, I wasn't really
yes,
around when he was like that big, but you know, you heard stories. Like, I remember
for
when he was in the
sure.
league. You know,
Yeah. And you're from
um,
New York, right? From what I remember. Yeah, so you
yes,
grew,
I'm
yeah,
from New
yeah, he's
York.
a New
Like,
York City kid. Yeah.
we don't. That's another thing too. Going back to this whole thing, Sebastian Telfair and Stephon Marbury were kings. They
Yes.
ran this city.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
And
what's I
before
forgot his man
them,
for Fernando Lopez. Like,
mm-hmm,
those guys dominated the headlines. Like, and just
mm-hmm,
remember like just hearing about this dude. It's like the story of Nas. It was like this
mm-hmm.
young
No, the aura.
prodigy
Yeah, yes. I
from
remember. I grew up in
Queens
Jersey,
is
but no, I
rapping.
remember that. Yeah, I remember the Sebastian Telfair in high school. And we had, Lance Stevenson also, NYC product, and but even now, if you told me to name one all like just kind of phenom from New York City, I couldn't name one. I couldn't. You know? So
Yeah, like it's funny because like they were talking about the I'm trying to remember their names. The they're twins who play in the league. One plays for the Wizards, the other one plays for the Spurs. It's
hmm.
Julian and Justin. I think their last name is Champagny.
Oh, Champagne.
And
Okay, okay.
they're twins, bro. They're from Brooklyn,
I
played
didn't know
in
that.
New York, and you don't hear a word about them.
Oh,
Now,
I didn't
granted,
know
they're
that.
not great. That's my point. They're not great
Yeah,
NBA players,
yeah.
but like these kids grew up in New York, played in New York. One went to St.
Mm-hmm.
John's, played well at St. John's, and like there's not a
Mm.
whisper about him.
Yeah, yeah,
Not a
yeah,
whisper.
yeah, yeah. Even here in New York, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, man. That was just sad. But all right, man. That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys again for listening. Obed, please let the people know where they can find you and what do you have going on in your life except for ranking all the YNs in the NBA.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you as always for bringing me on. And I think I actually kind of like that it worked out this way. I know what you were trying to get me on last week, but this is probably a better episode to get me on post Nico getting fired. We closed the loop from when you first brought me on.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm on most social media platforms. You can find me at double O eights. So that's double O, the number eight, and then S. Also have a really great podcast with my co-host Nana called Workday Pod. And similarly, you can find us everywhere, just about everywhere, under that handle, Workday. And shit, we might have to bring you on at some point too, man. I love a little crossover moment. Um, but yeah, man, would love to come back on. Always nice chopping it up with you, because my Workday podcast is a lot more serious. So it's nice to just shoot the shit, talk sports, and yeah, man. Looking
Yeah,
forward to the
bro.
next conversation, bro.
Anytime, man. So that is the pod for you guys, the Men Who Cry podcast. Like I said, like, subscribe, review. Back next week for you guys.